Hello, today is day 2 at Hoover, and this is the start of my video blog. I'm going to talk about my experience on the first day, which basically was the travels and us getting set up here and then doing the vomitive to help purge and cleanse out our system. So the total trip took about 20 hours with a layover in LA and Panama City. And we had a nice little journey at the LAX airport where we had to lug all of our luggage, what felt like 20 miles, walking from the regular terminals to the international terminals. So that was a struggle, but we made it through. And then we had a couple of times where we lost people, and then we said we have to keep track of each other and make sure we have a buddy system, but everybody arrived safely. Once we arrived at Iquitos Airport, they picked us up in motor buggies, which you'll see in previous videos, which was very fun. And we had two experiences that were odd on our about 30, maybe 45-minute ride to the center. So we passed a guy that was laying on the side of the road who looked like he was dead on the side of the road. And it was odd because people kept riding by and didn't really stop to help him or anything. One of the drivers did say that he looked like he was drunk on the side of the road, which was odd because in America, somebody would have stopped. At least I think. I know I would have stopped to check on him. And we also saw an ambulance come through, which is on the video. Once we arrived here and we got in our rooms, I walked in and there was a soft spot on the floor and I stepped on it and it crashed. It went through I broke the floorboard and it went through. Of course me. It would only happen to Tanisha that my leg go through the floorboard. So I have a big hole in my room, but they're going to fix that on Monday. So after we got set up in our rooms and we went and we drank some soup, which had two local plants, one which was from like the onion family, which is a vomitive, and then another plant that causes you to have diarrhea. So we had to drink that, and it took about 15 to 20 minutes for you to actually vomit, and I did. My experiences with it was that I had a headache the whole time, and when I vomited, my headache got 10 times worse. It was like my brain was about to explode. So that was interesting. Everybody had a little bit of a different experience. Some people had diarrhea, some people were dizzy, lightheaded, some people couldn't eat for the rest of the day. Everybody had a different experience, but that is to purge, cleanse our system to get ready for our experience here. Then we all took showers, we went to bed, and we had a restful night. But my night was not restful. You know why? You know what I did? I looked at I Am Legend, which was the worst thing to do your first night in the Amazon rainforest. You know why? Because I had nightmares. I had nightmares, and then I thought people were in my room trying to get me. I thought that people were walking through the woods late at night with flashlights. So I was kind of freaked out all night. Then I finally fell asleep. And I woke up and I just didn't feel good. Body aches all over, stomach was hurting. And I just kind of had to get moving and drink some tea. And then I felt better. So we ate breakfast, which was really tasty. We had an omelet and oatmeal with bananas and raisins and walnuts. It was a tasty breakfast with we have to figure out what kind of fruit that was. We had like a juice that had some kind of fruit and banana. I don't know what it was. We have to figure it out. One thing I wish I bought was my translation book because the staff here all speaks Espanol. And I only speak muy poquito Espanol, not even enough to really get by because I haven't used it in so long. So that was my experience day 1 at Hoover. Today, which is day 2, I will talk about it tomorrow. See you later. Hi everybody, this is day 2 of my video blog. Yesterday was a nice relaxing day. It started off with a nice breakfast of oatmeal, which is called a peyote, I think. Albena. Alright, Albena is the name of oatmeal. I remember now. That's what I'm pretty much going to be eating every day. I did have eggs. It was tasty, but I'm not sure if I can eat that every day. Then we had the rest of the morning to just kind of relax. So I sat outside on a hammock and I started to read a book, and the next thing you know, I fell asleep, and it was the best sleep that I had had since I've been here. Very relaxing. I didn't even want to get up to eat breakfast. Then I didn't want to get up to eat lunch. After lunch, we journeyed to the river, which you'll see videos of. We walked from the center into the village to get on a boat. And the boat ride was not very bad at all. It was a nice, calm, smooth boat ride. I did not get any motion sickness. Thank you, Lord. I didn't get sick at all. I didn't need to take any medicines, which I was avoiding because I'm trying to cleanse my system and shouldn't be taking any medications or anything if I don't need to. And then we got to the beach. And so what happens is when it rains so much and then the water starts to come down, then you have beaches that are exposed, because basically around here everything is made up of sand and grass. You don't really see a lot of dirt. It's some dirt, but it's a lot of sand, which that was one thing that I wasn't expecting. Out here in the Amazon, it's just sand. So when we walk around out here, it's sand and trees, not necessarily dirt. So I decided not to get into the water. It was kind of a murky brown, and it was my choice. Cindy and I did not get in the water, but everybody else did. They enjoyed themselves, and they had a nice time in the water and the beach. We kind of just hung out in a little shaded forest area while everybody was doing that. Then we took the boat ride back. We came back, we had dinner, and then we just kind of relaxed. Everybody charged their electronics, so you can bring your iPad and your laptop and all that. I personally decided not to bring any type of electronics, with the exception of my video camera here and my iPod for music. I do have a couple of video podcasts and movies on there, but I'm really going to try to refrain from that, and games as much as possible. I'm trying to detox my system from electronic devices, because I definitely use those a lot. I'm also noticing the things that I miss a lot, and one of the main things I wish I would have packed, and I had intentions of packing it, I just never got to it and never put it in there, is my peppermint tea. I really love my peppermint tea. I'm missing it every day. I'm addicted to peppermint tea. What can I say? So after dinner, we relaxed, like I said, charged electronics, and then we went and did a bonfire. There's two guys here that are shooting a film about Nehu Rahu, and actually, I think it's like a documentary. So I will be a part of that. You'll see that in the future. I'll be giving my testimony before and after. I'm not sure what station it's going to air on and all that, but that'll be coming soon to you. And I'll also link up my YouTube page with one of the guys, and you can see his videos as well from his experience, and he's also doing a video blog like myself. So we just kind of sat around the campfire and we talked about ayahuasca and peyote, which is a Native American traditional herb that helps you go into spiritual journeys. And we just talked about, Dr. Joe talked about the different levels of ayahuasca and the experiences that you may have. I'm going to try to remember some of them. The first experience is the first level, which is a lot of vivid colors and three-dimensional shapes. The second one is an area where you kind of go and you do work. You work on yourself. The third one, I believe, is that ayahuasca, which is the plant. It's going to take you on a journey. It's going to show you things. It'll reveal itself to you and talk to you and answer any questions you may have and help guide you on your journey. And then the fourth one, if I'm doing this correctly, is it will kind of take you to another realm. And this is where you can see other dimensions, and you can see extraterrestrial, you can see spirits and different things. So it's taking you on all these different levels. Not everybody gets to the same levels at the same times. It depends on if you have any blocks going on in you, and then the ayahuasca have to kind of work through these blocks, open you up so that it can teach you different things. Also, Some of the side effects from ayahuasca is nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and Dr. Joe basically said that some people will drink the tea and then they may feel nauseous. And you don't want to force yourself to vomit. You want it to help it happen naturally. And then it'll kind of help cleanse you and get rid of things that's blocking the ayahuasca from working. And when ayahuasca is done doing work in your intestines and in your system, in your blood, then it will relieve itself. And then some people, diarrhea, same thing. It works through the whole system, and when it's done, it will come out as diarrhea. So tonight is going to be our first ceremony. We are preparing for that. And what else happened last night? I slept very well. One thing is, if you're afraid of the dark, don't come out here because it is pitch black dark. And we have to walk from our room outside in the dark to go to the bathroom. So I was kind of scared. I had to get up and use the bathroom. I don't even know what time it was in the middle of the night, but I was really scared to go in the dark by myself. And so one of my neighbors here walked to the bathroom with me because she was scared too, so we decided to go to the bathroom together and hold hands with our flashlights. It's scary, and there's lots of different sounds that you hear, but I will say this, you do sleep well, and then you also will learn over time to block out all the different animal noises because you're in their house, and they're going to make noise, and they're not going to stop you. Also, last night during the bonfire, we heard Ricardo, which is the shaman. He was singing last night, preparing for our ceremony today. And so he sung for a very long time, which I felt was very impressive. It was at least 2 to 3 hours he sung, and we heard him in the background. So I think that's about it from yesterday. Can't think of anything else. So this is day 3. And tomorrow I will be talking about my experiences from today. And I will be discussing my first experience with ayahuasca. Can't wait. Stay tuned. This is day 3, and I am wore out. Let me just start off by saying that. Yesterday was my first experience with the ayahuasca ceremony last night, and it was interesting. Of course, you never really know what to expect, and you have your beliefs, and you kind of go off of what everybody else says, but my particular experience was very physical. I did have a few visions, but not really a whole lot. And if you don't hear about my physical effects because it may scare you, then stop the video right there. I don't want to freak people out. Everybody had different physical effects, but mine were very painful. I had involuntary muscle spasms from the top of my head all the way down to my toes, all the way down to my hands, and then it was cold at the same time. So it was very painful to the point where I cried because I was just hurting so much. And then I kind of rocked a lot back and forth. And during the ceremony, I had to, everybody got up and went one by one and sat in front of the shamans as they sang to you. And I believe that it seems like everybody had a more intensified effect after they sang to you or sang to them. So really don't have a whole lot more to say about it right now. The one thing that is surprising to me is that I can remember everything. Everybody can pretty much remember everything. So I have like little bits and pieces of memories. Like I remember lights that reminded me of Vegas, and then I dreamed about some high school with white and blue colors, a football team, I don't know, random things. And I did keep my eyes open a lot. And when I did have it towards the middle, or when it was really, the ayahuasca was really working on me, I did see like red, blue, and green crescent, a whole bunch of little crescent shapes. So that was my vivid hallucinations, I guess you could say. I did feel like ayahuasca, she is a mother, and I felt like she comforted me, and she told me not to worry about certain things, and she told me that she was doing work on me, and that's why it was so painful, that this is work. This is not supposed to be fun. She's trying to help heal my body. And so I just had to be open to that and just breathe through it and work through the process, because everybody knows that if you're trying to get somewhere, you have to work hard to get to it. So I did have a lot of involuntary muscle contractions in my abdominal area, which felt like it felt like she was pulling and then pushing things through my body, pulling it out of my colon, my intestines. I always felt like she was pulling it out of my bloodstream and then pushing it all the way out through my toes and getting it out of my body. And then at the very end, when the effects were starting to wear off, she just kind of rocked me and calmed me and told me it'd be okay. So that was my experience with the first night. We do it again tonight, and everybody is kind of exhausted from it. It's been very hot the last couple of days, and we just been sleeping at night. You pretty much stay up all night, or you sleep through the ceremony. But I slept in the Maloka, and this is behind me where we actually have the ceremonies. So I stayed there all night because I really couldn't get up and do anything. A lot of my friends, they did get up and go to the bathroom. A lot of them vomited. A lot of them had diarrhea, and they had different experiences, different visions. A lot of people had nausea the whole time. That was just kind of burning. And a lot of people had a lot of heat, because ayahuasca is a warm plant or a hot plant, but it's also a little cold, and she is feminine as well. So what else did we do yesterday? Let me think. We just pretty much prepared for that. Was it anything else, Cindy, that happened yesterday besides the ceremony?
Well, the artist came.
Oh, yes. So I did do a video of the artist. I don't remember his name, but it's on the previous video. He does visionary work, and he's going to give us the opportunity to come into what's called the Art Maloka, which is like an art studio. It's kind of a hut, and we can paint on canvas our visions. I'm undecided on if I want to do that because I can't really paint. So I don't know, but who knows, maybe I'll be inspired and can do it. Oh, one thing was that Mother Ayahuasca told me not to worry, that I passed my boards. She said, don't worry, you passed your boards, don't worry. And I'm like, I did? She's like, yes. It was like a conversation. It was kind of weird. It was like a voice, but not really a literal voice in my ear. But I remember kind of asking her questions, and she's like, yes, it'll be okay. And I'm like, really? But this morning I did get up and I checked my board results, which I wasn't going to do until after this trip and after White Coat ceremony. And I felt comfortable. I said, you know what? I passed it. She said I passed it, and I trust and I believe in her. And God told me I passed it a long time ago. So let me just go ahead and check it. And I passed. Yay! Hooray! So I'm halfway to being a naturopathic doctor. So just pretty much, I'll talk about tomorrow, which is not going to be much because I didn't do much because I was tired and wore out and drained from the heat and from the ceremony. And my appetite was kind of drained. Everything was drained today, so I'll tell you about that tomorrow. Everybody, toodles. This is recording, I think it's day 5. I have lost count of the days. And I have not recorded for 2 days because it's been a lot of work and I haven't really felt like it. Yesterday I journaled a lot of my experience. So in today's video blog, I'm going to talk about my last 2 experiences. So the second experience, it's plain coming over us. The second experiment, maybe it was an experiment, I didn't know. The second experience was very emotional. It was a lot of mental, emotional things that were brought up. A lot of things centered around death of past loved ones and future loved ones as well. So it was almost as if Mother Ayahuasca was preparing me for future deaths, and she did a lot of work on my reproductive area, my lower abdomen area, pumping muscle contractions, pumping that area, and telling me that I have to not hold in emotions of when people die, and to let it out and prepare me, saying basically we're going to fix this right now, but in the future there are going to be more deaths and you can't hold on to it here, and that's caused a lot of your problems. And then so I did a lot of crying. It was really draining mentally and emotionally. Didn't have a whole lot of visions. Trying to think if it was anything else. That was the main thing. And then what else happened to me? So a lot of bugs have been coming to me lately. When I first got here, there weren't a lot of bugs, but the other day there was like a nest of hornets or something in my shower, and I feel like they were trying to attack me. And then last night it was a big old flying cockroach that came right in my face. Freaked me out, and I flipped out of the bed and killed it. Then I apologize, but lots of bugs coming towards me and having more bug bites. So during a lot of detoxing, a lot of sweating, my face is breaking out, but things are coming out through my skin, and just, you know, really cleaning my system out. Yesterday, I had a hard time when I woke up with food. It just kind of started where I didn't want to eat breakfast. It was like, ugh, it looks nasty. And then lunchtime, it was okay, really wasn't into it. And then I had to take my what is it called? Mother plant?
Master plant?
Master plant, thank you. Master plant. And I could hardly even get it down. It was so just nasty to me, and I just had a difficult time. And then right before ceremony, as soon as I went outside, it was a full moon last night, my stomach started hurting. Then in ceremony, my stomach started hurt before I even started drinking ayahuasca. So I just had a really difficult time with my digestion yesterday. And then that was pretty much my whole experience last night. So it was back physical again. So the first time was physical. Second time it was mental emotional. Third time physical again. This time more of a focus on my GI area and not really the rest of my body. It was a lot of it felt like the ayahuasca, which is my master plant, and the ayahuasca were working together and just filling my small intestines, my large intestines, my esophagus, like my whole GI system. I was very uncomfortable the whole time. I had a lot of gas, and that was my intent for the night, was just basically that I was healed and I would not have any more gas. I wouldn't have any more pain in my back. No more gas, no more pain. I'm healed, I'm healed, I'm healed. And then when I went up and sat in front of the shamans, the one particular shaman that I was sitting in front of, I was bent over like this, and I felt like he was sucking the air out of me, the gas. And then so my stomach started to roll, or my abdomen started to roll, and I started to burp. And then he started to burp while he was singing, and then I was so grateful and just thankful, and I was just saying to myself, to him, like, thank you for taking this out of me. I'm sorry that you have to take it on, but thank you for getting it out. And I felt like a lot of the gas and air was just kind of pulled out of me last night. And then I was just really nauseous, and the ayahuasca, I just felt like it was burning, and it was sitting here all night. It was very irritable and just uncomfortable. Couldn't really vomit. I did vomit one time, but it was only a little bit. And then everybody was laughing, right? So everybody was cracking up, which is not unusual. But I was so mad. I was so irritated because I'm like, why is everybody laughing? What's funny? And I didn't know what was funny. And every time they would laugh, my stomach would hurt more. And then I was like trying to think, like, what is that about? People laughed before and I didn't get upset. Why am I so irritable now? So what came to me was, why do I feel left out? Why am I the outcast? Why do I not know what's going on? So I need to just go deeper with that. And then the other thing I could think about from the previous session, the second one, is I did purge one time. Ayahuasca brought something to me that was very personal, and I just didn't really want to believe that something happened, but I wasn't sure, and I was confused, and I didn't know. And I was like, I don't want to know. And she's like, fine, you don't have to know. And she took it, and then she was like, but now you have to get rid of it. And then right here, it was just pulsating, and then I vomited and came out, whatever it was. And that's what I'm trying to think. That's it. I slept okay last night when it was over. Woke up this morning. Stomach was really sore. Had a hard time moving around this morning. Ate soup for breakfast. Really didn't want that. Went back to my bed. Went to sleep. Still sore. So I'm just now, it's 5 o'clock evening I'm just not starting to feel better. Had my plant medicine and I feel better. So I feel like tonight's ceremony, which will be the fourth ceremony of 6, will be better. And I did some painting today, and we are in the Art Maloka, and that's why I decided to do my video. Hello everybody. Today is our last day at Nihu. I don't know if I said it right. Anyways, I'm a little giddy this morning because I'm like running on 3 hours of sleep. I'm really tired because we had ceremony last night and then we had to get up at the crack of dawn to get ready to get out of here. Last night's ceremony was kind of scattered for me, all over the place. I did have some pain, different things. I vomited and I had diarrhea, so I purged both ways this time, which was interesting and new for me. But I do remember having memories of people that's close to me, like my mother and my aunt and my ex-boyfriend, about their traumas or problems or issues. And Mother Ayahuasca was saying, stop holding on to other people's problems, let their problems go. And so then I vomited, and I felt like I vomited a lot of their issues. She said, stop worrying about everybody else. That's their journey. Stop trying to do their journey for them. So that was probably the main message that I got from last night. And today, last day, kind of bittersweet. You know, everybody's kind of moving around pretty slow. But we're going to miss all the lovely people here that worked here, people in the town, just all the people of this land. They're very sweet, very nice, happy. It's such a peaceful, relaxing environment. Even when you go into the city and it's crazy busy, everybody is just really nice. And so I know I'm personally going to miss just being around happy, nice people that are just genuine and non-judgmental, and just, you know, everybody has a great work ethic. And then yesterday it was a very cool day. It's still a little cool today. The rain, and it just made it more soothing to leave, you know, to get ready to leave. So a nice peaceful transition. One thing that I noticed during the ceremonies for me that was very intense, and it really came to me last night, was my hearing was like times 10. I felt like, is it a vampire, I think, that has like really really strong hearing and smelling and sight, like everything, all their senses is like times 10. I felt like I could hear like 1,000 miles away. My hearing was so clear. And so I always want to say, I wonder, would this, you know, ayahuasca help people who have hearing loss? You know, I don't know. Hi, Happy, come here. Happy, this is my favorite doggy. He just came to say bye. Say bye, Happy. He's so nice. He's such a sweet doggy. He's a rescue dog. Dog. Alright, so I guess that's all I have to say for now. I'll document the rest of our trip as we depart. And see you later. I don't know how to sit. Stand in front of the bathroom. Such a pretty bathroom, right? Yeah.